morning. Today we're going to work on our posture. So we're going to start first of all with some mobility or range of motion movements to open up the chest and get those back muscles a little more activated before we start our workout. So you just can grab a band. If you don't have a band, that's completely fine. You can grab a towel, like a shorter towel, or a belt works really well actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some moves with this band. So first of all, I'm going to grab hold of the band. I'm putting a little bit of tension on it, like I'm trying to pull it apart, but not too far, just so my arms are in a V. And I'm going to retract back. Now what I'm doing is I'm making sure my shoulders are pushed down actively and squeezing back. Now don't worry about how far you go back. You only go to your own comfort level. And you'll feel that opening up right in the back. Just remember to keep that tension on that band and keep those shoulders down and back. It can be hard to remember sometimes. What I do usually is about, not a whole lot, maybe about 4 or 5. If you happen to have a day where you're feeling particularly tight, then you can do a few more or do a couple of sets of these rather than just one. Okay, the next one that I like to do with this band is going to be kind of just a little bit of a lateral stretch. Side, going one side, down to the other. I'm kind of doing a seesaw here. And again, make sure that you're kind of want to lift this arm, in this case my right arm. It's coming closer up by my head or by my ear as I pull back down, and you'll feel that stretch. But again, only go as far as what you're comfortable with. And same thing, I'll do maybe about 5 of these, depending on how tight or flexible I'm feeling in that particular day. All right. And the last one I like to do with this, again, pulling apart that band, just like the first one we did, pushing my shoulder blades down, squeezing shoulder blades back before I even start, and then I'm going to bend at the elbows. And what I'm trying to really do is as I bend with the elbows, I'm really trying to track them back. So I'm not having them in, I'm trying to make sure that they're back. Then, keeping that tension on the band, I'm going to reach back up over my head again. And again, when you may do that, make sure that your shoulders aren't coming up along with it. Keep those shoulders away from your ears. The best explanation that I have for that. Okay, and again, 4 or 5. Do more sets if you're feeling particularly tight, or just if you have extra time and you want to. Okay, let's get to our strength moves. I have a band set up here. We're going to do a row first, and what I like to do with my row is I like to have the band right around waist height or hip height. I don't want it up too high because then I feel like I'm more inclined to hunch at the shoulders. And remember, we don't want that with band stuff or with back exercises. So what we're going to do, here, let me adjust so you can see. Shoulders down and back, eyes straight ahead, don't look down, don't look up. And what you're going to do is retract those shoulder blades, keep the chest high, and then slowly come forward. Now as you come forward, make sure that you're trying to keep that tension on the back by keeping those shoulder blades retracted. So just think about that. You want to do around 15 of these, depending on how they feel. With a band, you do want to step back a little bit for more tension if you need it. Usually with back exercises, I find that even though sometimes I can lift much heavier weight, I get a lot better of a back workout and activating the correct muscles if I go lighter. So you can always do that. Okay. Next one is we're going to do pull aparts. These are fantastic. These are also getting the rear delts or the back of the shoulders, which are extremely important for balance in the shoulders, but also in your posture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this band right about even with my shoulders. Then I'm simply going to pull it apart till that band touches my body. This time I'm just going to go just above the chest. And then when I come forward, I don't come all the way in. I want to keep some tension on that band. So I'm not releasing the tension. I'm just going forward a little bit, then retracting those shoulder blades again. This is really good for those upper back muscles. And like I said, the rear delts or the back of the shoulders too. And again, same amount, about 10 to 15, depending on how it feels for you. If you're starting out, maybe 10 will be good. Just listen to your body. And then, got one more for you. This next one is great for the lats when you don't have actual equipment to use. So we're going to take our band. Again, you can use a towel or a belt. And we did these as a stretch in the first part of this video or this routine. This time what you're going to do, you're still going to focus on the same move, which is bending at the elbows, but you're really going to focus on squeezing those back muscles. Shoulder blades down and back, reach up, and try to really keep those shoulders pushed down even as you come up, and you'll still feel the back working. If at any of these moves throughout the routine, your shoulders start to get tired, which they very well may, I know that mine do. When I reach that point, usually I get to about 10, and I'll think, oh gosh, my shoulders are tired. I'm not able to squeeze my back as much as I was. I'll stop, and what I'll do is I'll count to 5, and that gives me enough strength to finish the exercise with the proper amount of muscle recruitment that I want, or muscle activation. So I'll just do a couple more here, and then I have 2 more really good tips for you. Okay, good. A couple of my bonus tips throughout your day. Try not to hunch over. Be mindful of your posture. I know this is something that I always do when I'm talking to someone. So this is really kind of rounding my shoulders forward. You can see it. So I thought, what can I do? Because I don't like to just stand there. So what I started to do is to cross my hands behind my back. If you cannot reach that far, that's okay too. You can just put your hands right here and clasp them, or even just place them just behind your back. Again, make sure that those shoulders are not rounded forward. Round them back and make sure the shoulder blades are down, shoulders away from the ears. The other thing is, now I'm going to pretend I'm holding a cell phone. You all know what I'm going to say, I'm sure. We're all holding our cell phones, or at least most of us are throughout the day. Please try to keep the phone up so that you're looking down with your eyes and not looking down like this all day, okay? That's a little bit too much for the cervical spine to constantly or being in that position too much. And that will definitely contribute to the posture, because a lot of times it's not just your neck, but everything else kind of follows along with it and rounds forward. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.